11th of October, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Okay. Good to see you today. Okay.
Perspective. You share what I experienced.
Okay.
And
where are we holding here now?
processing that experience.
We're up to Aslan. Oh, yeah, we didn't really figure this out. What's this all about? What's it to do with our Gemora yet? That we didn't really figure it out at all.
Very intense on a couple of days, you know.
So we have a
we're sort of out of the.
So what we're dealing with over here is
silence. And then we have to go to
Stop being able to see how we use alone. Okay, before we came on to this Mishnah over here in Maseches Kelim, which is talking about hides of a tanner and a balabais, we mentioned that there is a machlokes tanoim about whether Yeush Kedi is koine, meaning whether Yeush by itself is koine. We saw in the Brisa that there was a view that Yeush by itself is koine. And we saw a view that holds that Yeush by itself is not koine. So we're bringing this Mishnah in Kelim. We're going to see something in that. We're going to see that there's two opinions over here as well, and it's going to be based upon this machlokes that we saw about whether Yeush by itself is koine or not.
About 6:30 in the morning.
Not sure exactly. We'll have to see.
Siren. It wasn't a siren.
So maybe let's start again from Tanan Hassan. Okay, a running start with this.
Now it's siren is
Mishnah in Kelim.
Then I heard a lot of explosions, and I knew that it wasn't.
Somebody mute the news.
The normal, just the usual missiles going off, Patriots shooting them down, and I kept reading it.
Okay. Louis, you want to read the Tanan Hassam?
Sorry.
Tanan Hassam.
A special room inside of the shul.
Tanan Hassam.
We had to run out of the shul.
We learned in a Mishnah elsewhere, Oros Shel Baal Habayis. The hides of a householder, Machashava Mitam Asam.
When they shoot missiles, there was nothing strange.
Thought renders them susceptible to tumah.
The number 2.
The shell Avdan
He's viewing things as foggy.
But in the case of the hides of a tanner, ein machashava mitam asan. Thought does not render them susceptible to tuma. Shel Gazlan, in the case of a thief, ein machshava mitam asan. Thought does not render them susceptible to tuma. Shel Ganav, but in the case of a thief, but this is a different kind of a thief.
Europa.
So the ganav is somebody who steals from you passively, as opposed to the gazlan who takes it by force. The gazlan sticks a gun in your face and says, "Give me your money." The ganav sneaks into your house and takes the money from the drawer. Machshava mitam asan. Thought renders them susceptible to tuma. All right, so what do we have? We have 4 cases here. We have a householder. Yes. We have a tanner. No. We have a gazlan. No, and a ganav. Yes. Rabbi Shimon Omer Hiluf Hadivarim. Rabbi Shimon says the opposite. Shal Gazlan Machshava Mitamasan. For a Gazlan, it does render him it does render the skin tameh. Shal Ganaf, for a Ganaf, Ein machshava mitamasan. It does not render it tuma. Lefi shalo nis yaishu habalim, because their owners did not despair.
Okay, so we see over here, like you mentioned, 4 different cases, and just the rule when it comes to these kalim over here that we're talking about different oros skins. So you can do a number of things with hides and skins. You can make shoes out of them. You could, but that's going to take a lot of work. And just the skin, the hide by itself right now, it's not. It needs a lot of work. So if the idea would be that he wants to take these things and make shoes out of them, so then those hides that he's got, those leather hides, they're not makabel tuma because there hasn't been finished. It's not. There's no gemar malacha on those hides. But the owner who owns the hides, he with his machshava says that he wants to use these hides as they are. He could use them as some type of he could sit on them. He could lie on them. And he doesn't have to do any other malacha on it. So with that machshava that he has, it's now matamasan, meaning that it now becomes susceptible to receiving and becoming ritually impure. That's the din by that's the first din by the balabais, because he's the one that says what should be with these hides. But the tanner, we said yesterday, according to Rashi, that the tanner, he's really basically interested in selling. So even if he would be in the middle of making the shoes, I guess, if somebody came and said, "I'll give you the price that you want for the hides," he'll say, "Sure, they're sold to you." And so therefore, his machshava does not that he wants to make it the shoes out of it, and therefore wouldn't be makabel tuma. That won't be koveya. His machshava ein machshava mitamasim. Right, because he could. I think the point with that is that maybe it's actually the other way around. Even if he would want to say, "Oh, I'm going to use these hides. I want to use these hides." The tanner says, "Oh, I'm going to use these hides to sit on and lie on." They would not become tame like that, because why? Yeah, it's like this. Not like I was saying before. Because if a guy would come and say, "Listen, I'll pay you for those hides," because I want to make them into shoes, or he's going to make, he's the guy's a tanner, he's not a shoemaker. So he'll sell him the hides, and the guy will make them into shoes. And so really, what the story was with those hides is that they were not really a finished product yet, because they're being made into shoes. So therefore the tanner's machshava that until the guy came and said he wants to buy them, his machshava is not koveya. It's not going to fix that these things are already finished, and no malacha more needs to be done to them, because he's really selling them. Somebody's going to come to sell them, so then he's gonna sell them. So they don't. So his machshava is not going to be making it susceptible to ritual impurity, even though he decides, so to speak, to make use of them as is. Okay, that I don't think that has really anything to do with what we're talking about. But the next two cases is what we're really looking for, and that's really why the Gemora brought this Mishnah in Keilim. The next two cases, we're contrasting the din of a Gazlan and the din of a Ganav. And do we have Rashis over here? We have Rashis. We have a Rashi on Shel Gazlan. We have a Rashi on Shel Ganav. So we want to see those Rashis over here.
Let's see which Shel Gazlan. That's where you want to start.
Yeah.
Okay, the Gazlan, which is the armed bandit. Ein machshava tameh. His thoughts does not make him tuma. The lav the day who, and it's not to him. The kaven, since the yada, since he knows man shakilya mini lo mayosh, that when he takes it from him, he's not going to be miyayish.
Right? Why?
Well, he's somehow assuming he's getting it back. He doesn't. He's not doing the ayish. He has a hope of getting it back somehow. He knows the object still exists with the gosling. And
He knows who's in possession of it. He knows who the gospel is. All he has to do is
go to basic.
go into basic. Only gospel by a thing, and you got to tell him to give it back.
Right.
So he's not getting me. He knows
he's got
what to do.
But the Ganav, it's robbed, and he doesn't know who the robber is. So who can he go after? But show
Yeah, Ganav. Shato Tomaso.
His thought doesn't make a tumor. I do may rehu because he does have yiyush. The master, the guy has master. The person has yiyush. The master is the owner is yayush. The lo yada laman yidu because he doesn't know who to make a claim against. It was stolen from him. He doesn't know. He can't go after the guy. He doesn't know who the guy is. So there is yesh. So there's yesh in the case of the god, not yesh in the case of the gospel.
Right.
But then the second part of it says, Reb Shimon is the one who says switch him around. Now, why does Reb Shimon say switch him around? Okay. Chilu for Devarim. He says switch him. Now, let's see what he can explain why he says it. The Goslin, the reason for the Goslin is Kevon, since the Shekolim Mimene Bahadya. He takes it, he does take it from him. The Afya Miyayish. And you're not going to find that he's not going to want to do Miyayish. The Ganav Savar, the Chishna, there is a concern on it. Who mishkachen, and they're going to find him. So the Ganav, he thinks is afraid he's going to get far. So he hopes to, in a sense, the Ganav, he still has hope of getting it back because he thinks the Ganav is still worried about somebody's going to find him and the Ganav will give it back to him. So he's not Yish on the Ganav. Well, let's see why. I'm sure the Goslin is the hard one. Let's see why. Why is Rabbi Shimon saying the Goslin that there is Yish on the Goslin? Okay, well, he took it to him with force. Right. So if he forcefully took it from him, he doesn't think I can't get this back from this guy. Took it from me. He forcefully took it from me. I can't win against this guy.
Yeah, Rashi says lo motzi koi ba'ape. He's not able to stand. He's not able to stand up to him, and so I guess he's afraid of him. Not able to stand up to him. He's not able to. Yeah, it's not so clear over here exactly. What the point is, but because he knows who it is, but he's not able to stand. That's what the words mean. He's not able to stand up to him. Because why is he not able to stand up to him? Because the guy is a fearless bully. He took it from my hand forcefully. Wasn't afraid of me, and he overpowered me, and so I'm not able to stand up to him. So I'm gonna be miyash. That's the thinking of Reb Shimon. But at the Ganav, he didn't take it away from him in front of him. He like Lou said, he came in the middle of the night. Nobody saw him, and he thieved it away like that. That's a thief. So he figures, even though I don't know who this thief is, but I see that he's a scaredy cat. He didn't want to confront me to my face, and take it away from me when it was in my hand. That he didn't want to do. He waited for the time when I'm asleep, and he came in and himself. And so I see he's a bit of a scaredy cat, and I'm going to be able to prevail over this scaredy cat. Is that what Rashi says? God of Sabar, with the God of Sabar, Bechishnole, Umash Kechinole. He'll yeah. In other words, what about the issue of? But you don't even know who it is. He says, okay, I'll hire a detective, right? I'll ask people. I'll make it my business to find out who this guy is. But it's not an issue of being able to stand up to him. On the contrary, the Ganav was not able to stand up to me. That's why he got the way that he did. So when I'm gonna find out who he is, I'm gonna be able to get that thing out of him. So he's not biash. That's the way Rav Shimon looks at it. Okay, so we have two contrary views over here. Whether it's the Ganav or the Goslin, whose makshava is matamasan, based upon whether the owner was me'ayish. But they both seem to agree, Reb Shimon and the Tanakama, that if the Bailim, if we're talking about a case where the Bailim is me'ayish, so then for sure the makshava of the Ganav or Goslin would be matamasan. So now along comes Ula. Ula's got something to say over here. Amar Ula. Roy, would you like to read Amar Ula?
Okay. Oh.
It's 11. It's 114A4.
Yeah.
Top left.
Top left. Right, I had another Omri. Hey, Omri Ula said, Shalokes, this Tom. The dispute applies to cases where it is not known whether the owner has despaired. Aval Kadua Divrei Hakol Yeush Kanei. But where it is known that he has despaired, all agree that his despair affects acquisition. Rabbi said, the Yodua Nami Machalokes, the dispute applies even where it is known that the owner has despaired. I'll go on, or you want to stop?
Yeah, let's see the Rashi over here. The stum. Lou, you want to read the Rashi?
Okay. Let's see. Where is it?
Ibramaskil Bastam.
The stum.
It's near the skewer.
This stum. Got it. Delo Sama Inon de Mayesh de Baha Pligi Demar Savar stam Geneva Iush Baalim Haber below stam Gazela Umar Savar Iluf Hadvarim Kidefarin Shis. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're gonna have to translate this, Rabbi. I
Okay.
have to pick up a call. Hello.
Okay. Okay, so Ula, he's telling us what he thinks the machlokes between Reb Shimon and the and other Tana of this Mishnah is based upon. And he's saying that they are arguing in a case of stam. Stam means that we don't know whether the owner of the stolen or robbed item has actually been Me'ayish or not. We don't know. But what they're arguing about is in the case where we don't know, will we presume that the owner was Me'ayish, or will we not presume that the owner was Me'ayish? They got a machlokes between them, Tanakama and Reb Shimon, which one, if it was ganbin away from him or it was gazeled away from him, which one is the one that we presume that he was Me'ayish? Right? Tanakama had his svara, Reb Shimon had his svara. Tanakama said, "Oh, it depends on whether you know who did it. If you know who did it, so then we don't presume that he's Me'ayish, because he figures he's gonna go and take him to bed and he's gonna get it out of him. He's not worried about the fact that he stole it from him by force. The force of the best that will force him to give it back. But the Reb Shimon says no. Reb Shimon looks at it differently. Reb Shimon says that no, it's from the if it was robbed from him by a Goslin, then he is Me'ayish. We will assume, even if we don't know that he was not, we'll assume that he was Me'ayish, because in an ordinary case, as Reb Shimon, the guy will be Me'ayish in such a case. He doesn't want to stand up to that guy. He already met up with this guy in the previous occasion. The guy, wrenched it out from him right in front of him. So he doesn't. He's afraid of him. So it's the gun, according to Reb Shimon, that in a case where we don't know whether the owner was Me'ayish, that will say that he was not Me'ayish, because he figures in that case, even though I don't know who he is, I'm going to find out who he is. I'm not scared of him. He's the one who's scared of me. I'm going to get it back from him. Okay, so that's the way Ula says it. But what comes out, says Ula, is that if we would know whether the guy was Me'ayish or not, whether it be a case of a Goslin, in both of the cases, if we know that the owner was Me'ayish, both the Tanakama and Shimon hold that Yehush Kadi is koine. That simply the fact that the owner was Me'ayish, it now allows the Ganav or the Goslin to acquire the item, and that's why his machshava is matamasan, because he's the owner of the thing now. It's his to do with it whatever he wants to do with it, and so therefore, if he decides that this hide is going to be used to lay on and to sit on, and he's not going to make shoes from it, so then it's going to be yard l'tuma. It's going to with that machshava of the Ganav Goslin, it'll be susceptible to ritual impurity. They both agree to that. If we would know that the owner was in fact Me'ayish. And on that's what we did so far. And now, oh yeah, you read also Rava. Roy also read Rava. Oh, we were up to Rashi. Yeah. So that was that Rashi. Rashi's talking about the view of Ula. That's what Ula says. And the next Rashi says Aval Biyadua. That's also part of the Shita of Ula. So who wants to read Aval Biyadua? Phil, are you there?
There. How about you do it, right? He knows what you do it.
Aval Biyadua.
I believe in a couple of minutes. I'm just trying to figure out where was the Valby. I'll read the Valby. Okay, but that's only a couple of words. The Shmi and the Miyash that he heard that it was it's not a Stam case. He definitely heard the guy say, "Oy vey, I've lost." He heard the despair, so he knows about the despair. That's a different case. In that case, once he said that, then we know when it's definitely Mayash because he said that.
So in that case, is there a machlokes between the Tanakh and Reb Shimon over whether the machshava of the Ganav or Goslin is b'tamasan?
There shouldn't be because you know the answer. There's no, when he is and isn't.
Oh, so that's the next Rashi. Divrei Kol Yesh Kidi Koni.
Divrei Kol. They all say that it is Yayish. That a Yayish does acquire a filo Ganav. Even a Ganav, according to Ganav Rabbi Shimon to Rabbi Shimon, and a Gazal Rabbi to Rabbanan. So they kind of agree in that case, the two of them.
Right. If we know that the owner was Miyayish, whether it was a Ganav or a Goslin, both Reb Shimon and Rabbanan will agree that the machshava of the Ganav or Goslin will make the hides susceptible to ritual impurity, matamas. Okay, so that's the view of Ula. But Rava came along and he said no. He said no. He said Omar Rava Omar actually biyadua nami machlokes. Rava said no. Even in the case where we know that even in the case where we know that the owner what was doing with the owner, we know even that is a machlokes. In other words, they're arguing the Rabbanan and Reb Shimon. They're arguing about a case that we know that he was miyayish or he was not miyayish. How are they gonna argue now? So let's see what how Rashi explains this now. We have another Rashi over here. Biyadua nami machlokes.
Even in the case, leave this Rashi, and then I gotta go. Even in the case of where am I? Even in the known case, there's also an argument between Reb Shimon and the Rabbanan. The nami, because if alternatively the Shmiyan that he heard it, the Miyayish, that it was despair, Amrei Rabban, the Rabban says, the Goslin, that it could be with a Goslin. The low Havi Yehush, that they wouldn't be Yehush. The call Shata, all now, the Atya, that Sa'ata, the Atya, of his knowledge, the Benakatya, Bedina, he'll take him to, he could still take him to court. The Chain, and also a Ghana, Rabbi Shimon.
Right, very good. I think that's what it means. Rashi over here seems to be liking to talk in Aramaic for some reason. I don't know exactly why he's not writing in Lashon Kodesh over here. But he says even though the guy actually, even though we heard the guy say, "Vayinu lehesron kiss," we heard him say, "Vayinu lehesron kiss," which is Yehush. Rava says that that in the back of his mind, I guess, he's thinking that that's what Rashi says. Kol shaita at any moment, daite lemilkete bedina. His das is, his thinking is over here. His plan is lemilkete bedina, to take him bedina, to the Bezdin, if the opportunity would, in other words, present itself. There's a Bezdin. And if the so even if he said kiss, Rabbi says that doesn't mean that he gave up. If he just despaired right now, he says, like, what's gonna be? I don't have any way of getting it back from this Goslin, blank. But I guess that he'll be able to get it back, either with the help of Bezdin or with somebody else's help. Rashi says his plan is Ladina. I think that refers to Bezdin. And so that will be the din for the Goslin according to Rabbanan, and also for the Ganav according to Reb Shimon. In other words, yeah. All right. We'll so we see over here that they both seem to hold, either by the Goslin or the Goslin, that even though the guy says it's not really a real Yeush, mamish, and therefore it won't be koned by itself. Okay.
Okay, take care.
All right. 12:30. Okay. Everybody have a great day. Hashem Yishmor. Bezrat Hashem. Aleichem Yaakov Chol Yisrael.
Okay, thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Bye, everybody.
Amen.